Welcome everybody to today's live. And as you can see, I've been painting these guys, and here you can spot the difference if you have seen my previous lives. If you follow, because I have 6. Let me put them in the frame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops, not in the frame yet. Okay, now they are. Oof. 6 here, rat augurs. Are they Stormferns? Yes. And so there has been this whole work on the pipes recently, and now you see the OSL. The thing is, not everything is the same intensity. And so here it is just a reflection, and also on this side, a reflection from the cracks in there. Same for the legs here. Here is the light from the crystal, but because it's receiving a lot of daylight this way, I cannot go super bright with the green, just because the object source lighting is the strongest in the shadows. Okay, so for instance here, underneath here inside, here as well, of course, and there. This is all how to say, coming from the cracks here, so this is not, it's pretty far away. It's not, it's more like ambient light. Here for instance in the leg, that would come from here, the pipe. This is absolutely that's a lot of work to be honest. That's something for sure. And so that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to continue, so refining. So here it needs a lot of refinement, and slowly building up the light. So here they should have some, but very gentle, because this light here also comes from the cracks of the pipe. It's not direct light, or this a bit more from the pipes here, but you see it shouldn't be crazy. So here I will have to, this is the projectiles they have in the gun, and so they would emit some light, and so here that's why I'm doing this part here, and the same. And I start very dark so that I can modulate the light and have some OSL effect without having everything super bright. I think that's the mistake that is easy to do, is to have everything the same value of green, and that's how, let me take my brush, that's how we lose some drama and interest in the piece. Okay, so here for instance, because it should be, it still receive the OSL, so it's marked by this green light, but of course it won't be as strong as, for instance, inside here. This is very close to this source here, so this is in the shadow close to the source. It should be a lot brighter than this here. If you start with a medium green, you cannot modulate, and so here I think it's pretty much the latest stage, because I just want the ambient light. And so on my palette, let me show you, I have this. You see this is a mix between my darkest green and my medium green. That's the medium green, and that's what I use now. Okay, let me redo the mix on the palette, and then I will start. Okay, here we go. So this is definitely a big piece of work. This is the last thing to paint on these Stormferns. So Stormferns, they are these big rat augurs for the Skaven, Age of Sigmar. I do the OSL last, just, you know, to give me time to see conceptualize the whole thing in my mind first. And here, because there is a lot of different sources, and I want to differentiate the intensity between all of them, that's a lot to take into account, because we need to have a hierarchy. Let me check what was. Oh yeah, this. Okay. Too light. Okay. Reload my palette with the darkest green here. Here's a bit too wide, but it's easier to glaze on top of the light green, well, lighter green with a dark green, because darker colors don't have white in them, and so white has the largest pigment of all paints, and they make white paints, lighter paints, they make very visible strokes. Let me check. Okay. Well, it wasn't far from it, but yeah, here we go. You see, I'm just like kind of smoothing out the edges of this light green with some darker green. And in fact, I have airbrushed the very dark green to begin, but I went over it with the darkest green. I went over the dark green that is airbrushed with the same dark green that is applied with a brush, just because I have a lot more intensity with the brush. The application with the airbrush is always somewhat transparent, and even if you have a good coat, and so I feather my dark black into dark black, which should give me very, very subtle transition. Okay. Something like this. And so even it's very light, in fact, so for instance here, I also have some green, for instance. It's very, very light. But when I will take the pictures, everything will show, because the camera sees more than the eyes. Like how many pixels and stuff. Okay. Yeah, exactly. I have to work on this before I do the rest. Just having a smooth transition, and that will work fine. And so I will do that for every one of these smaller sources. And so we have a lot of OSL here. But hopefully pretty, well, this is a bit in your face, like the weapon, but we need it, of course. We need it to be noticeable. But I also want some more that your brain sees, but you don't really notice consciously. And then, oh yeah, of course, if you get back to watching the model, then you would spot them part by part. But when you first lay your eyes on the model, you may not spot them, but you just see like, oh yeah, it's working and blah blah, it's cool, but you don't really know why yet. So that's the objective. Sorry for the earthquake. So I need a good glaze consistency here. It's really a lot of work because I have to reblend everything, and that's true. Rework the blend for all the green here. But of course that will elevate the whole piece. See, very, very, how to say, diluted consistency, and several passes. And of course the camera here, the light is very strong, the camera is very close, and so you see all this imperfection that the bare eye won't see. But I paint to showcase mostly on the internet, and so it needs to be good enough for the pictures. So if it's some edge highlight like this, I can have a slightly thicker consistency. In fact, it helps avoid the paint running everywhere. And like this. Same for these angles here. Oops. So here I was using the thicker consistency for the edge highlight, but of course here I need something a lot more thinned, a lot thinner. And the idea is also not to have something perfect, but just cool to look at. So for instance, here there should be some light there. Oh yeah, and the edges here. Also the material will affect the intensity of the reflection. So here, the metal down there. So here I have a thicker consistency with a drier tip. because I'm painting the edges, and so I don't need something like this. It's just very subtle like this, but this here source of light is not very strong. Something like this. In fact, here it's pretty nice. Pretty much enough on this area again, because the source is very weak. But that's the advantage of having something that is very dark, a very dark green. Right, so you can have a sense that something is happening here with the light, but it's not overwhelming, and it can still make sense. Here on the leg, I think it's all right. Let me check. Again, here it's a nice challenge because it's all about modularity of the reflection. Hello, Betty Boop. So you see, I have to think of the source. Is it close? Is it intense? The exposition to the, let's say, the sunlight, and that would. There are many rules, like mathematical rules, but I don't do math. You know, to try off and calculate the right, let's say, intensity. I don't do that. And this is tremendous amount of work that's going to happen here. Sorry. Okay. And so I will go to the lightest, how to say, light, and then I will glaze down to smoothen the whole thing. If necessary. But here I have a 50-50 mix between my medium green and my dark green. I think transitions, they are still pretty sharp and not smooth at all. So of course that is not the end result. Something like this, and then I will continue again and again and again, and that will do the OSL here. Very hard to access this area, but here we go. I'll do my best. Whoops. Okay, I have my brushes available on the side. So here I had a small, was watching the screen to make sure I was in the frame. I touch this area. Inside the tail will also receive some light from this glow here. And so I'm not looking forward to this because it's very hard to get access to this area. But here we go. We'll do it anyway. And this I will do area by area. Just to keep track of what I'm doing, because I will have so many. I think it's pretty nice. Well, not this. This is not nice at all. So I will take the darkest green and correct that. Just on the edges with some diluted dark green, kind of cover the harsh transitions. And because my base is dark green already, it will blend. Okay. And so of course the effect doesn't work yet because this is the early stages of the OSL, and I think that's necessary. If you want to have good results, you have to spend the time on it. That there is no way around. And of course this, you could not get that just with an airbrush, shoop shoop on top of it. In fact, so I'm working on the smoothness, but I don't think it's the most important. I think the value and the placement are more important than the smoothness. So I'm a bit rough with my brush here because that's pretty hard to get in there. So I sacrifice my brush for the job. Because you see I'm pushing the paint like this. That's all right. Okay, something like this, and here as well. More water. And this is a very dark green, but you see it's already starting to do something. Okay, so I think this area is all right. Now I will do the tail. So I've done this arm here, the shoulder. I will do some more here. Of course, it has to be very, very subtle. In these areas. Here is all right. Okay. On his head, okay, I've done it already. Okay, some underneath here on the metallic parts. So I'm always checking what I haven't done, what I haven't painted yet. And then step by step, oh, you see the tail as well. So this whole area. And the same here. Okay. A bit more water, slightly more water. Glaze once more over it. I'll do some here under the feet and the legs, just for the consistency. This is tiny job. This is tiny. Um, oh, you see that? Starting to work. Okay, let me check. So now I'm just checking that I have the stuff. Yeah, okay, I think that's all right. And now here, okay. So this here, his elbow is right next to the cracks here, so that's a chance to have a good bright OSL. Okay, same here for the brain. Okay, good lord, that looks incredible. Well, thank you very much, Bunyan Boy. Okay. And so, yeah, I want to give that sense of OSL, but because I have so many planned on the model, I cannot have everything at the same value of brightness. And that's why, like, this is very subtle, but where does the green come from? So this is very weak source, just as this one. And so in fact, this is good. And you see, there is a sense of something, but it's not like overdone. There is kind of respect of the theory somehow. And I think we can, of course, emancipate ourselves from the rules. And my favorite rule is the rule of cool. And so this one trumps all the others. But yeah, I think it's just finding the balance between something that is widely accepted and that will make it believable, and your personal arrangement with the thing. And now the tail, I will do the tail. So because the tail is receiving light from the cracks here, you see I have already some passes here and up there. And so here that will be pretty bright. Oops, maybe too much paint here. Yeah, okay. So that is not an area of big, how to say, that will be seen so much, but still. I think here could have something as well, like this. Yes, pretty cool. Because from the right, I also have this crack here. That subtle green light really makes the OSL pop. Wow, well, thank you. Thank you very much. That's the bet. You see, that's the... And of course, I have a lot more higher values, like for instance, for the crystals. But except if like what is receiving the light is very much right next to it, shouldn't be as bright. So Oh, I will redo my tip here. Has really done a lot of wrong to my brush tip here. A lot of harm, but it's okay. Okay. Refining the directionality. And smoothness. So when you turn the model like this, you have interesting elements wherever you watch. This is not the final result. This is, I think I'm in the first 20% of the whole OSL. So that's the beginning. So I need more water. Okay, now I will smooth the edges with my dark green. So it's not the main, you see when I have the model like this, you will still see a part of it, right? You don't necessarily need to have the model like in the, how do you call, like from the bottom. If you take it from, this is slightly at an angle from the top, but you still see the OSL here at the bottom of the tail. So here I am adjusting the consistency because the more diluted, the more transparent, and the more transparent, the smoother. Okay, so right. Usually like to do that. I start with so here I have a little problem. It is due to the sculpt here. There's something hard to manage, but it's okay. It's not the most visible. I like to go with the lighter and then smooth it down with the darker transition. It's just easier because the darker colors, they're just more transparent. And so that's, I think that's pretty much it for this part, which is not the dominant on the piece. But you see, bringing something and not crazy, but subtlety is what I'm doing now. Now, is it worth it? That's the whole question. But let's do it first and then judge to see if it's worth it or not. I think this is all right. Okay. Up, cleaning the brush slightly. Oof. Okay, cool. I like this here. Very subtle, but just enough. And really is bringing a lot of green on the miniature. Here I think I could have more. So you see, I think that's what I'm about to do. Let me check if everything is all right here. I think I need to do the other side. Other side is all right. Oh yeah, so the legs here. Okay, I will do it as well. I think it works very well. Oh, the fingers as well. Okay, kind of the rule of cool here. So the theory here absolutely should be that the fingers, they receive less because they're further away, even though it's not, you know, because it's miniature scale. So that's I don't know, between this and this, maybe 4 millimeters, but times how much? Like if it's 156, then should be 10 4, maybe 20 centimeters. Yes, that should be. And so 20 centimeters would affect in real life the quantity of light it receives. Though here I won't follow the rule. I will just do something like this. Increase the readability. On this 4 millimeters. I think it works fine. Oh, and you know what? Oh, I have an idea. Just birthing in my deranged spirit, but here I could have some light of this, lighting the face of this rat from the bottom, like, you know, the very dramatic. I think I will do it. That's pretty cool. Let me breathe in, breathe out, and think about what I'm going to do, and then I will start. And you know what? I will start with my darkest green. No need to make it harder than it should. I think that will look pretty cool. So this is absolutely rule of cool. On the go, for the OSL, thinking that, oh, okay, glow from the bottom of the face here would look pretty cool, and so I'll do it. Teeth here. Here I do the finger as well. And this little foot. That's very monstrous, but I have, when I see it, somehow I have some tenderness for this little monster. Everything's gonna be okay, little monster, with your ugly face. I won't say that I love him. I would give him some love, but you know, if you know what these guys are meant for. So these miniatures I'm painting, this is you see there are 5 there, and so here doing the OSL. If you know what these guys are supposed to do, well, please let me know. I don't know if they're just giving their brain energy or what to the let's say the host. If you happen to know, let me know what they're supposed to do here on the back of this creature. Oh, I think so. Looking pretty neat, funnily enough. Okay. He's just chilling on his rat ogre. Okay, so I think the dark green is done. And now to the highlight. Okay, so I have my, now it's a 50-50 between my medium green and this dark green. Although I feel it's a bit lighter than what it could be, but okay. Starting with these areas. Oh, this is pretty cool. I don't know. The separation is very important here, the black line. So one green light is coming from here, and this green light here is coming from there. And so, oh, so you see I need the edge here. Good bright green edge. Oop. And here the same. Okay, something like this. Okay, and now the highlight. I think, yes, okay, I got the hand here. Oops. Ooh. Oh, that's fine enough. Well, let me take my dark green. Just here. Correct that quickly. Yeah, thinner. Thinner is more technical, it's more defined, it's better. Okay, and now to the face. So I have started to have this light here illuminating the face. So just rule of cool, really. Okay. Consistency. You see, that's what I'm working on here now. Before I ruin the whole thing with too much paint or not diluted enough. Good consistency. And now let's go. And so I will want to focus. Oh, okay, I need a good grip on the model because now this is pretty small. Yeah, no, it's too diluted. I will correct it with the darkest green after. Just trying to find what is the most dramatic. Yeah, there is something here that is kind of working. And then when I may do some more highlights there later, like a lighter value to reinforce that effect. I think it was a good idea. It's kind of working, so good news. Okay, you know what? I think it's good enough. More here. Let me. Yeah, something like this maybe. Teeth there. Oh, here we go. There is something. I think it's pretty on point here. There is something very subtle. I think it's perfect for this light here. This I will go a bit higher, just slightly higher, although it's pretty good, but because I've done everything here, it cannot be the same value as here. This OSL is so far away from that. So here I may have to go a bit higher, it's fine. Okay, and then I have this highlighting this area here. And then so I finished this pack here, and then I will do the tail. And so this area will be mostly done. And then I'll do the weapon. And then maybe this area, well, you see, have a lot of work. Oof. If you guys are enjoying what you see, you are very welcome to subscribe, of course, especially if you are willing to ride along on the long run. Sometimes I go under the radar, I don't post for a while, but I always come back. I should be consistent here for the coming month, but that's why I'm saying if you want to stay on the longer run, because Sometimes I like to see people joining, but when some people just leave, thinking what I've done wrong, and so if you need more time, of course, to consider if you whether or not you want to join and subscribe. You can check my long form videos, also the shorts. It's okay, right, to wait. But of course, if you think that's good enough and you want to support the channel by subscribing and being there, well, you are very welcome, and thank you very much. Okay. Something like this. And now, let me think. You know what? I have my dark green here. I will do this side here of the kind of the, how do you call that? The hazmat. No, it's not a hazmat suit. This will get some good light because it's just right next to the cracks here in this pipe. Okay. Okay, now I will take the lighter green. Well, the lighter, yes, it's I mean lighter than my darkest. So it's a mix between the mid-tone and the darkest. What faction is that? Yes, it is indeed Skaven for Age of Sigmar. Let me check. I said I would do this. Yes, okay. That's why everything is green, because they love this. You see this stone here? It's called the warp stone, and that's kind of the fuel, if I understand correctly. Oops. Feathering the mistake here. No, it's not coming off. Taking my bigger brush and going at it rough. Yeah, okay, now it's better. Just wiped away. Do you sniff? I used to eat the warp stone. Oh yeah. You sniff? Personally, I don't sniff the warp stone, but I'm pretty sure the Skaven do, especially like the kind of the engineers that create these. If I understand correctly, these Stormfans, they're kind of undead rats that are fueled by the power, the magic power of the stone. So I will come back with the darker green later. But here I really have to build up the lighter values. Have you ever painted your whole thumb? Depends what you call the whole thumb. Sometimes it comes to here, down there. Yes. But I mean, not all around. I'll use 360 around. Just this part here. There it has happened. Especially, well, here's the same color, so I can do it on top of each layer. But if I have many different colors, yeah, happens. This is painting at a very, very hard angle. Have no support on the miniature. Exactly, it's, the thumb is a good indicator to check how long I've been painting. That's exactly true. So here like 65 minutes, but because I'm painting mostly one color. So here I'm getting rid of this paint. Instead of going back with black on top of it, I just erase it. Okay, so I've done this. Could have a bit here. Okay, you know what? I'll keep this pretty thick consistency. Wow. Looking good, by the way. Gotta go to work now, so I can't wait to see it finished. Well, thank you very much, Jebodia John Fan, and have a good time working, you know. Oof. Huh. Should I keep this big straight line? I think I will. Otherwise, I will never go forward. So let's go. Here as well. Edge highlighting the metal. So it has to be pretty subtle because the source of light is weak and far. So, huh. So here I'm almost painting blindly because I cannot see much. Okay. Oh, something like this. You see, so I have some variety in the, how to call that, modularity in the light. Here, that would be the highest highlight inside this crack here. I think it's good enough. And also, yes, on the armor, maybe down there, but it's very hard to get to. Okay, something like this. That will be good enough. And now this. Oof. Okay. Then I will smooth the edge with a dark green. Here, because it's very hard to get to, I have to do a sloppy job first, and that will refine later. Here I'm kind of suggesting a line. Ooh. Have here so a good ridge. Same on this side. How do I get to? Ooh. Wow. Breathing. Oh my god. Okay. A bit more water. Oh, pretty good. Refine that later with a darker green on the edges, but I have something here. It's all right. Let's have something here inside. Oof, that's a lot, but okay. Oh, oh yeah, it was hard to get in there. Really, really hard. Okay, I think it's fair. Maybe this here, so this ridge here would be taking not much of the light, because you see the angle is angled directly towards this pipe. So here on this side, I think I can afford to have something pretty strong. That will be too strong, but it's okay. Oh my god, I have to correct it. I don't want any on the skin there. Okay. Okay. All right. I will refine that later with a darker green, but I think that's, you know, if it gets refined, that's enough here. I mean, in terms of the value of the green, can't go too crazy because, in fact, so the sun is from the top, and so the light here should be very weak, and that should be it. You know, no more than this. I think so. Okay, so now I'm taking my darkest green and can finally feather it down to have better looking edges. You see here, this is very rough. And so let's do that. Well, first I will make sure I have a good solid coat in the middle of each of these kind of, oh, that's strong, but okay, let's do it. No, it's too strong. Okay. And here, okay, something like this. Wow. So before I start the feathering, I know I have a solid coat in the middle. Same for here. Okay. Ooh. This was painful. This was painful. So guys, don't hesitate to drop a like or something, because yeah, this was the effort. Okay, so now it's a lot better because feathering with the darker paint is easier. Start with this area here. And this dark green is pretty intense, and so it gives a lot of saturation as well, so that's pretty cool. If it's diluted enough, okay. Let's go for, I guess, this area here. Okay. Okay, cool. And this, I repeat this step many times, and you will see that it all get smoothed out pretty nicely. Whew, I have to not forget to breathe because that's breathtaking, really, literally breathtaking. Because if I hold my breath, of course, just like a sniper, I can. But in fact, it's not the best to hold your breath because at some point you have to breathe. Surprise. So controlled breathing is better than holding your breath. But of course, I have to remind myself to do it, because I always tend to go for the breath holding. Okay. So that's really a tricky one, this. Because of the location and the model. But I like the result. I think it's worth it. What do you think, guys? Is it even worth it? Is the juice worth the candle? Yes. Well, you know, regardless of the result, whatever the result is, I think the effort, just the learning and stuff, is worth it. OMG, finally, I thought I am the only one not breathing. No. That's a reflex. Well, I don't think it's a good reflex. Especially, maybe, you know, it's how you say, demanding. The painting is demanding. And so if you don't breathe, I'm pretty sure the brain does not get enough oxygen. And so I'm pretty sure somehow it affects the performance, and it's definitely not the right time to have your performance how to say it, like degraded, or, you know, not optimal, because this is, wow, very precise work. And so you see, I went too high moments ago on the green, and now I'm just feathering back to the black. This is a lot easier this way. But look at that. I think, look at this angle like this. I will refine a bit more. I think it was worth it. It's very subtle, pretty dark, but there is a good something here. I think it's interesting. Interesting enough to show you guys. Yeah, here definitely needs some feathering as well. Getting back to my I would say medium dark green, just to get back into there, reinforce slightly. And the more passes I do, the more blend I get. So that's all right. Okay. And then here. Okay. Well, with my, here I'm checking the paint job through the monitor of the camera. I'm using my phone to record, so I watch my phone screen. because the human eye here, I cannot see. It looks perfect, but the camera would spot the, you know, the imperfection. And because, to be fair, I stream online, I post online, this kind of stuff. I need something that is looking good with the camera. But here, look at that here. I think that it's pretty successful. This line here. Here, there's my line, and darker, and then the light of the day takes over. Okay, so I take my darker screen here. And yeah, I have to be careful not to weather the paint on the miniature because I'm so focused on the as I think it's interesting, you know. Okay. Whew. Okay. I think I will take some even of darker, almost black, to redo the transition between the two here. I think I need something even darker, like a line like this. Whoops, too much water. But basically you get the idea. Here, so let me take some of my, it's kind of a black here. And I will darken the transition here. Reinforcing the effect of, you know, here getting in the dark, and because this area is in the dark, the green light becomes dominant. But here in it, it's called a terminator, the line of shadow, where the light ends, and so the other can begin. Okay, we'll let it dry to see, because now it's not dry, I cannot really see if it's too rough, the transitions. Should be all right. Okay, and oh yeah, I said here some of the dark green to feather this transition to have something. Oh, you know what? I'll first highlight more and then feather. Well, I mean, smooth out the gradient with the black dark paint. Okay, something like this. Yeah, it was here. Okay. So here, interestingly enough, gets good amount of light from the rock. You see here? So it should be around there. Let me take more paint. I will be rougher. Just I want to place my lights and then I will smooth. Yeah. Okay, taking some light from this crystal and here taking a slight something from this pipe. Yeah, okay. And separation between the two. And also the edges of the ring here. Ooh, that is small again. The thing is, I cannot really get the right angle, but it's okay. It's okay, I will refine that later. Whew. Okay, so while this dries, I will check this now. I think this is fine. Like this. Okay. And here reinforcing slightly. With the dark green. Here doing the edges. Oh, let's do it like this. Very nice work. Thank you very much, Betty Bob. So smoothing out the edges, you see, with my dark green, now is a lot easier than highlighting. It's some rough with the highlight and then I smooth out with a darker green. Okay, and I wait for it to dry and I will do it again. Whew, and then after that I will take a break because I cannot feel my left arm which is holding the miniature. That was exhausting, to be fair, because very hard to first get just a good view on the thing, this area here, and then even harder to get a good angle to access the area. So, whew. Okay. Something like this. You see, I try to paint, there is some always element getting in the way because here it's very hard to get anything with a good angle. But just doing everything I can to make it look somewhat decent. Yeah, there is a big impact of the light here. I think I'm pretty satisfied with this. From down there to up to here. Okay, so again, I will take my black and divide these two sources of light. Okay. I think it will do. Something like this. And I will add some of that dark green here. Okay. And here too, look at that here. I think. No problem, yes. You see from that angle really looking like this, taking the light from here on the crystal. So, pretty cool. We'll add a bit of the dark green. Yeah, like this. Okay. And the same here. Whoops. Okay. Whew. Oh, something like this. Cool. So here, what do I have left? So this side is done, the leg is done, very good. The tail, okay, yes, I almost forgot here this part of the tail. This is all done. Oh yeah, maybe I will do this upper part here and this here. This really was the dragon I had to slay right away, and so that is done. Maybe a bit here, some here, and getting back there. But this is easy to access, right? So will be done a lot faster than this part up here. Well, guys, that's the end of the live. If you enjoyed it, if you want to see some more, of course, you can subscribe. And so if you subscribe, you will see when I am online broadcasting. So that's pretty cool for you. Also, of course, hope that you guys had a good time. And yeah, if you want to ride along and see more often, and you're sure you have the feeling that you want to ride along with the channel for on the long run, right? Then you are very welcome to subscribe. If you think you need more time before subscribing, or you may unsubscribe, then take your time and watch my shorts or long form videos or my other lives, so you can make up your mind. Because of course, if you could avoid to subscribe to unsubscribe, that could be cool. Because when people unsubscribe, then I'm just left wondering what I did wrong. But of course, you want to subscribe now. Thank you very much, and you're very welcome. Thank you, guys, and see you next time for more painting.